We're right with you. The Morning Majority, 5 to 9 on 630 WMAL.
7:37 on the Morning Majority on a rainy Monday in D.C. Brian Neiman, Mary Waltzer in this morning.
The goals of this campaign right now, again, are limited, and it isn't about seeing him go. It's about supporting the United Nations resolution, which talked to limiting or eliminating his ability to kill his own people, as well as support the humanitarian
So the mission can be
effort.
accomplished and Gaddafi can remain in power.
That's certainly potentially one outcome.
Okay, that's Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Admiral Mike Mullen, with David Gregory yesterday on Meet the Press.
But having your cake and eating it too.
So let's talk to our guy Fred Barnes, executive editor of Weekly Standard. You watched a lot of the Sunday chat shows yesterday, I'm sure. What do you make of this? We're bombing Libya and we're saying, yeah, it's humanitarian, and he may be able to stay, he may not, and we'll just deal with it, as it unfolds.
That's preposterous. I mean, you can't. Look, the whole idea is to get him out of there, that he is a tyrant, that he is murdering his own people. Are we going to suddenly say, well, he stopped murdering his people now and everything's fine? We know now, one of the things we can't forget, really, particularly as Americans, is that his justice minister was one of the defectors and who said that Gaddafi was behind the Lockerbie bombing of the airplane that killed so many Americans over Scotland, and 10 Scots as well. He must go, and I hope, and I assume, really, that when you hear Admiral Mullen and other American officials say, well, we're not out to get him, this is not about regime change, I hope they don't really mean it.
Okay, what if it is about regime change, though? Let's just say we do get Gaddafi and he's gone. Then what do we do?
Well, that's preposterous. I mean, again, I've used the word twice.
Well, but I mean, what do we do? What do we do if we kill him and he's gone? What does the United States do?
Well,
I mean, do we nation build here?
We support a rebel coalition government to replace him, and at some point, I don't know how long they'd be in. I mean, this nation building is a very difficult process, as we've learned in Afghanistan and Iraq and other places. You have an election, and you elect a permanent government. All this takes time, but the key is, the single most important thing right now is for Gaddafi to go.
How come you've used the word preposterous twice now, and we're only a minute into this? How come I haven't seen any headlines using the word preposterous?
No, I haven't either, actually. And
I thought it was just me.
I've seen the paper this morning, but I can't imagine that the underlying view truly, with American officials and others, and NATO and Sarkozy in France, and Prime Minister Cameron in England, and others who have really spurred the effort here, that they don't recognize that Gaddafi has to go. It won't work with Gaddafi still there. At the best, what you could have is a divided country and a civil war with Gaddafi left there.
Yeah, well, and I think of that, and I think that even if you do get him, and you're propping up this new leadership or whatever, we're going to have boots on the ground. Are we going to be there for a long period of time? Are we going to be there if there is a civil war, if there's a fight for power? I mean, these are all questions that are unanswered. And
they are very good, and they're the right questions to ask at the moment. Certainly, President Obama has made clear there will not be boots on the ground, at least officially, troops that we've deployed there. I'm sure there are CIA officials and agents there as well are there, but not boots on the ground. And I think that's the one thing I believe President Obama meant for sure, that we would not deploy ground troops there. Now, somebody from NATO. There can be UN so-called peacekeeping troops that I think have an unbroken record of never keeping the peace anywhere. But right. If there are troops on the ground, there won't be American troops, and I assume there will be. Look, if we win the war, then there in Libya, then Gaddafi will have to be seized. Now, whether he'll be sent to the International Criminal Court in the Netherlands or not, I don't know. But he cannot stay.
Right, but the problem is that okay, we could win the war within a couple of days, and Gaddafi could go. I mean, similar to what happened in Iraq. I mean, we had control of Baghdad in what, a month or so, and then
3 weeks,
and then the real fun begins. Essentially, I mean, then you're
what?
there. Then what? And that's what I'm concerned about is that we don't really know what we're getting into. We don't know who we're supporting, and that this could be another open-ended war, or we could even make things worse in Libya.
Well, it's hard to imagine that. Other things could get worse. I don't know that there's any reason to believe that we're going to have a Gaddafi residual force. Now, remember, who were the insurgents in Iraq who mounted an insurgency that turned out to be very strong, and then they were joined by Al Qaeda? They were the hardliners from the Saddam Hussein government. They were the Sunnis who didn't want to lose power. I'm not sure that there's a Gaddafi group that will fight on after he's gone, assuming he's gone. There may be, and those questions have not been answered. But it's Libya, it's not Iraq, and it's a different situation. And I think I can't imagine that happening, an almost permanent insurgency that there was in Iraq. But the truth is, I didn't imagine that happening in Iraq either in the beginning.
Fred, do you personally see any problem with Obama going to Rio during this and making the announcement that we're going to be entering into Libya while he's in Rio?
No, I think he should have canceled that trip. It's not that critical a trip. It's 3 countries ones he could have gone to at a later date. I didn't think he had to do his March Madness brackets either, and golf and do these other things. I mean, this is a real crisis. This is where the whole revolt in the Middle East has come to a head at the moment, and he needed to be on that case full time.
Do you think that he was possibly pressured into doing this by the British government and by the French, especially because they need Libya more than we need Libya right now?
Well, they were certainly leading the way. There's no question about that. I just wonder what would have happened if the Arab League in the beginning had not supported a no-fly zone, and then if the Chinese or the Russians had blocked the Security Council resolution. And that is sort of one unanswered story. I've read a lot of the TikToks about how we came to win that vote in the United Nations Security Council, but how did we get the Chinese and the Russians not to veto? Mm-hmm. I don't know what the answer is there.
That's a good question.
What we gave them, but I'd like to know. I think it's important because I was a bit surprised that it happened so easily.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I didn't think about that.
Fred, great to have you on the show. As always, appreciate your time.
Anytime.
Fred Barnes, executive editor of the Weekly Standard here on the Morning Majority.